It's the holiday season, and there's nothing quite like relaxing in your recliner next to a crackling fire, spending a bit of time with some family and friends. Hello, Nathan.
Hello.
It is a wonderful wintry... Oh, and look, another Nathan. Hello.
Another wild Nathan does appear by this wonderful Yule log that we are enjoying.
It's fantastic.
Nathan Young, we are so happy to have you here, enjoying this toasty little slice of warmth in the middle of the cold.
It's great to be here. I heard that there was going to be some wonderful virtual hot chocolate passed out over this recording call. And when someone says fire, I say, like, I've got the matches. So Yule logs, murder, all of it sounds like the best way to spend a wonderful holiday season. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And yes, that, of course, is the final aspect of this cozy place, is to have some cozy little mysteries. There's a line in the It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year about scary ghost stories, and I say bring it back.
Yes.
Normalize ghosts.
By making new ghosts?
Yes.
Wait, to be clear, are we solving murders and mysteries, or are we causing murders and mysteries?
Ooh.
When you texted me, that was a little ambiguous.
You know, we've done a little bit of both on this podcast. We've been known to explore both sides of that.
Alas.
All right.
Before we get started, though, Nathan Young, would you like to share from whence you came? What do you do?
Well, let's see here. Many years ago, a couple fell in love, and no, my name is Nathan Young. I am a composer and artist. I have been working as the art director for a tabletop game company called Three-Legged Crow. We just barely published our first iteration on the whole game system, a solo RPG about ghost hunting gangsters called Neon Vigil. So a little bit up a little in the same wheelhouse as your podcast here, which is just so delightful. It was fun running into you, Marcus, at the Dragonsteel convention not too long ago and talking about the different things we've been working on. I do audio, and I've done experimental audio podcasts and immersive media projects of all different kinds of sorts, and have a couple of other exciting things cooking up in the works that maybe I'll have you pass on to your listeners for me in the future.
Yes, absolutely. The other wonderful reason to have you join us is I have been in the past roommates with not one but two Nathans at two separate times.
Just can't get rid of us.
So
Far too many Nathans in this world.
Not
I
enough.
propose to any Nathans that may be listening, Nathan Hicken, if you have a favorite Denny's parking lot, how does like a 2 a.m. slugfest for who actually gets to keep the name sound?
Heck yeah. Everyone else has to change their name to something random. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, you pick the Denny's. We'll put out the announcement somewhere, and
Okay, sounds good.
It'll happen.
We did give Nathan Young the opportunity to go by his pen name, but I just kind of like having multiple Nathans, because then we can have Nathan and other Nathan, and then have them decide who other Nathan is.
Exactly. And there's a 2/3 chance that one of us is going to get it right, so really we both get it with the answer right, so it's going to be great.
We just won't make it clear as to who made the guess, which one way or the other.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly, yes.
Awesome. Well, wonderful to have you all here. Let's solve some murders. We, of course, have our wonderful friends and listeners who have posted some mini murders in our Discord, which we did a few with Bill and Danny from Escape This Podcast. We will not be completing the rest of them today. We'll probably continue to return back to these in future episodes. So please, if anyone still would like to post one, this is not the last time we'll look at these. Yeah, we're excited to read a couple more. And we will start with a mystery posted by Alyssa S. Thank you, Alyssa.
All right, here we go. Bob swore as he hurried up the steps. Late! He was late! And his boss would be so angry. Pushing past someone in a Birdie's heating and cooling, hurriedly exiting his office building, he nodded to Marv, the security guard behind the reception desk, before rushing up the stairs, taking them 2 at a time while carefully balancing the coffees he was holding. Bob burst through the office door to Whitlock and Associates, putting the coffee on his desk before tearing off his coat and straightening his sweater. Picking up the correct coffee, Bob knocked once, before carefully opening the door to the large corner office with Harold Steinway marked in letters on the door. Sorry, boss. Bob trailed off, realizing he was talking to empty air. Slowly, Bob took in the quiet office. Boss? Bob began hesitantly entering the room, noting the cold temperature of the room before spotting a brown leather wingtip sticking out from behind the desk. Boss, are you okay? Bob rounded the corner of the desk, finding his boss lying pale and motionless on the floor. Oh my god! Bob shook his boss, checking his pulse and finding none, but noting that he was still warm. Starting to feel dizzy, Bob stumbled out of his boss's office and dialed 911 with trembling fingers. What killed Harold Steinway? Wow.
Ooh, the drama. It's
The drama, heating and cooling. Okay, I have a crackpot theory here right at the way. As both Nathan and other Nathan, we are Schrodinger's Nathan collectively at the moment here. So speaking for Schrodinger's Nathan, Bob started feeling dizzy, and was still warm. And it's we just saw the drop of the heating and cooling. I wonder if it was like a carbon monoxide leak or something. If Bob was getting dizzy, boss comes into work early. Harold is minding his business, but the air isn't circulating correctly. I don't know.
I think that's pretty strong. Maybe Alyssa knows something about what monoxide poisoning looks like. See, I was going to comment on the fact that Bob only knocked once on the door is clearly a breach of protocol, and he should have at least knocked twice.
Honestly, I think
and maybe said, "Can I come in first?"
Mm-hmm.
Is Harold just a real stickler on protocol, and it stopped his heart immediately when someone broke it?
It literally killed him.
Heart attack right there.
I mean, I understand when my routine is interrupted. That's basically how it goes. So
Yeah, it can be impactful. Okay, no, let's look over this for just like any other relevant details. This is a heating and cooling company.
I'm liking what Schrodinger's Nathan said earlier with the monoxide, because I'm thinking we know it's cold outside because he's wearing a sweater, right? So obviously the temperature's supposed to be warm inside the office. So if it's cold inside, that means the heat's off. Someone's turned it off, so someone's turned off the air circulation. And then I do like the carbon monoxide if he's feeling dizzy too. So.
Oh, looking a bit closer, yeah. As Bob is late coming in, someone in a Birdie's Heating and Cooling shirt, jacket, hoodie, clothing article was rushing out. But also Marv would know something.
Marv.
Nodded to Marv, the security guard.
Never trusted Marv.
There is the off chance that perhaps Harold is just like one of those has always taken the poison, and the morning coffee is what stops the poison from going through. And because Bob is late because Bob takes a whole lot of care to note what the correct coffee is. And being on time with that coffee is important. Maybe it's some fast-acting poison.
Oh.
That's fascinating.
I like this story. I feel like there's insufficient.
Let's stay with my first one. Let's stay with my first suggestion.
Okay, yeah. Just when it says leather wingtip sticking out, so like he was knocked on his back, his feet were poking out the top. Does that happen when you pass out? Do you literally fall on the floor and your feet go up like in a cartoon?
That is a good question.
With those kind of shoes, I know if I was wearing wingtip shoes, I would make sure I died in a pose to show them off.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I think I misunderstood. It doesn't say wingtip shoes sticking out on top of the desk. It says from behind the desk. So it's probably just on the floor.
I mean, the classic profile, just the feet sticking out from behind the desk.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing anything else that really stands out to me. So I think that Nathan got it in one. I think that you're probably right. Also, Nathan, do you want to read the answer for us? See if we're right.
Schrodinger's?
Nathan or other Nathan?
Yes.
I thought I would let you figure it out with context clues, but the Nate of the podcast usually, if you'd like to read that,
I
that'd
see.
be great.
Okay. Answer. Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Hey.
Bob passed an employee from Birdie's Heating and Cooling on his way into the office, which is an older building. Lately, the office building has been having some problems with their heating system, which is why the employee from Birdie's Heating and Cooling was in the building that morning. Upon coming into the office, Mr. Steinway was working while the employee from Birdie's was working and was accidentally exposed to large amounts of carbon monoxide, suffocated, and died. So it was an accident, not on purpose.
I don't know whether to be disappointed that it wasn't something more devious, but I am very pleased with just how nicely that one came together. Well done, Alyssa.
That was good.
Yeah. An excellent, tight little mystery here. I know what you mean about not knowing how to feel when it's not a murder, because on one side you're like, oh man, it's not like a intriguing betrayal or whatever. But then also it's like, not murder.
I feel like we have to have murder for Murder Museum,
Yes,
you know?
The constant battle is figuring out
how much murder is appropriate for...
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I know that nothing makes me think about the holiday season more than carefully planned murder. So
That's so true.
Exactly. Yep. Good moral too. Check your carbon monoxide poisoning. Don't trust Birdie's Heating and Cooling. I don't know if they're a real company, but
But you heard it here first. Don't trust them. Well, our heating luckily is still working.
Oh, yes.
in our cozy little.
Love this Yule log.
Ooh.
Do Yule logs have, like, do they come from a particular Yule tree, or is it a regular log that you have Yuleified?
That is a good.
I know that I'm sitting in front of a computer and like could look up something here, but I figured just wantonly showing my ignorance is more interesting.
I think so.
Are they the byproduct of like the Yule cow, and like it's the other kind of log that sometimes animals leave around? You know, like what exactly is a Yule log?
I'm assuming it's because I feel like the Yule season came first, because there's other Yule things.
Yuletide.
Yes. What's the tide in Yuletide as well?
It's like high tide, but with
Heck yeah, more Yule.
logs.
Okay, I think Yule came first, according to Wikipedia.
And now we know. Well, I say we hop back into another mini mystery. This one from Cherimoya Zest, which is an excellent username, who, before writing their mystery, says, so I heard write a mini mystery, but also include something esoteric that makes it maybe not fun except conceptually, which I don't remember saying make it. Wait, actually, no, I probably did. I probably did say.
I think we did.
What
say
if
that
it wasn't
That
fun?
sounds like something you would say.
Yeah, it actually does. I'll be very surprised if this isn't fun, but if it is not fun, I'll definitely take the blame for that. I'm excited.
I'll take this one.
Yes, please.
Investigator Otis Grievant listened with growing incredulousness to the anxious park ranger's story. You're telling me that someone blatantly stole every last penny from your donation jar, and the other two people in the room didn't notice because they were too busy bird watching? It does sound a bit bad when you put it like that, Arnie Fulgist said, but yeah, pretty much. This room's a popular spot to view the beach, but luckily we've only had 3 people here today. When the investigator went to speak to the subjects, each quickly denied any suggestion of guilt, saying they'd only come for a chance to observe a species they studied. The only nest eggs I have any interest in are those of flamingos, said one. I've been watching the Caribbean flamingo pairs down below feed their chicks milk all morning long. Interjection, I just pictured like a carton of milk. And the flamingos like cracking a nut open, like the kind you got in elementary school.
Oh,
yeah, anyway.
yeah.
Sure.
That's a me insertion. That was not Cherimoya Zest. I apologize. They're such caring parents. The only bank I've seen is that sandbar, said the second. I've been watching a pair of white pelicans tend to their chicks. I plan to come back and watch the beautiful moment when they both fledge. These questions are for the birds, answered the last. I've done nothing all morning but watch a family of killdeer. One of the adults was pretending to have a broken wing to lure something away from the nest. I think it worked. The investigator returned to Arnie with a smile. Oh shoot, I don't remember what the investigator sounded like. Good news. One of these people is obviously lying. And we all know that if someone is lying, they definitely committed the crime.
Facts.
That's wonderful. So you've solved the theft? I have. This isn't just about theft. It's about murder.
Ooh.
Delivering. Thank you, Cherimoya Zest. This is what I was hoping for. The final line here is, what did he mean? What does the investigator mean that this is about murder?
Well, when I was able to pay attention to the content instead of the remarkable voice work.
Oh.
If I need to redo that in English rather than whatever
No,
awful
no,
language
no,
is coming
no.
out of my mouth just barely,
Fantastic.
then we can do that
That was
too.
a compliment. That was a compliment, not a
Fantastic.
roast. I am fairly confident there's some fact about flamingos at the core of this. Something about either flamingos don't lay eggs or they don't feed their chicks milk.
Where would a flamingo get milk besides the grocery store?
Exactly.
That's such a good point.
But there's also the other two birds too, because they also have facts like does the pelican come back or not, or do killdeer actually try to lure things away by pretending to be hurt? Also, one note: ornithologists. That's ornithologist. I'm pretty sure with a British accent. So I think it was him.
Clever.
Is Otis Grievant another phrase? Otis Grievant.
Otis Grievant.
Otis Grievance. Maybe not.
Actually, I think the answer may be staring us in the face. There's a whole family of murderers in the third Birdwatcher.
Killdeer?
It's right there in the name. The murder is deer.
Oh, a family
There
of
are now dead
deer
deer here.
killers. I see. Of course.
Yes.
True. Or there's also the fact that maybe the flamingos are killing their parent, or the parents are killing the kids with the milk because the milk's poisonous or something.
That sounds like an idea that Schrodinger's Nathan would come up with.
Are we allowed to consult some outside sources to double check our flamingo facts or our killdeer facts?
If we do, we will sound less clever. So
That's true.
if you do, maybe just don't say that you're doing it,
Okay.
and then you'll still seem really smart.
Okay, speaking of Schrodinger's, the seriousness of this suggestion is tied to how good people think it is. Flamingos got chicks, I mean, not chicks, they got milk from somewhere. That was probably nefarious seeming. So suspect A's murder thing could be whatever the flamingos had been murdering or milking.
Yes.
Because the concept of milking a bird sounds deadly. Number two was, yes, my actually the adults having a broken wing to lure something away from their nest. So something was there killing, maybe the deer was killing the killdeer.
Ooh.
And they got revenge. One of them pretending to be weak and luring something away. The only one that I think has any merit there is the flamingo one.
The flamingos murdered someone to steal the milk to give to their kids.
So just to reestablish some basic facts here, this is a park ranger that is telling them that someone stole from the donation jar while two other people were bird watching. So the idea probably is the people who were not, or the person who was not actually bird watching might say a fact that is not true.
Yes.
Right.
So we do need to become expert bird watchers to know
Yes.
which of these things is false. I see. Thank you for restating it for us.
I feel like I might be falling for easy bait because flamingos don't have milk.
Right?
Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do.
And that feels too easy.
Yeah. I feel like maybe I've fallen for it.
I'm no. I think that Senor Google may have an answer for those of us that do not have the luxury of living somewhere where we can watch birds on the beach.
Okay.
And wouldn't a beach be nice?
I will say that Otis Grievant probably has access to Google, so why can't we?
There we go.
Exactly.
White pelicans, do they actually tend to their chicks, or do they just yeet them out of the nest and call it good?
Right?
You know, as someone who works on horror media frequently, I have a strange Google search history. I'm sure both of you do as well. But white pelican parenting strategies was not something I expected to have to explain to my personal FBI agent one day.
Nice.
So,
Okay, I consulted some outside sources. Holy crap, flamingos produce milk.
Ugh.
what?
I did not know this.
Is it like real milk, or is it like the fake milk that people call milk to not think about how gross it is?
It says it's the type of milk they produce in their digestive tracts called crop milk.
There we go.
So
they regurgitate
That they
it.
use it to feed the young.
They regurgitate it.
Oh boy.
Bright red that fades in color some.
Wow.
It comes from eating shrimp.
Wild.
I wasn't expecting an education this evening,
Right?
but man, this is fabulous.
Pigeons and doves also produce milk. What is this? I've been lied to.
Okay. Now that we have developed a more robust understanding of flamingo
Yes.
morphology, One, thank you, Shermoya Zest. But two, I think that actually the first person right there is not lying. We could strike suspect A off the list.
Alibi checks out.
For only a person who had watched flamingos that very day would know such an obscure fact.
Exactly.
It all tracks.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wouldn't believe it if not.
Really, we are solving a murder by gatekeeping real bird watchers. That's what we're doing here. White pelican parenting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything immediately on white pelicans that screams problematic as far as that story goes. To read it again for our listeners at home, I've been watching a pair of white pelicans tend to their chicks. I plan to come back and watch the beautiful moment when they both fledge. Oh, actually, that raises a question. Is fledging like when they fly? That's not hatching. That's like when they can get yeeted out of the nest, right?
I think so.
It's when they start to leave the nest. Okay.
So everything's fine.
Those terms all look like they're lining up.
I mean, the third person does start with a pun. These questions are for the birds, which I think shoots them into
Super sus.
suspicion immediately. Yeah.
I mean, number two technically talks about the only bank I've seen is that sandbar.
Oh, you're right.
And the only nest eggs. They all start with puns.
Rats.
Then I say we arrest them all.
I think so.
Ah.
How disappointing. I didn't even notice that the first two have puns. That's so sad.
Do killdeer not have
So-
families?
But he said it's not about theft, it's about murder. Did they shoot the adult killdeer? Does it have a broken wing and they're trying to justify it?
Killdeer actually do pretend to be injured. I just found a video.
Oh yeah, look at that. To lure something away from the nest. Why would it want to lure something away from the nest? Because someone's murdering their children.
Wait, what if in a reflection of the birds, ornithologist was the person who stole from themselves and they're trying to frame it on a bird watcher?
Classic.
The liar. Ooh, all three of them are telling the truth, so the one that's lying is the park ranger. But what's the murder?
Do pelicans actually kill their babies? I don't know. That sounds horrible.
Oh, ooh, look that up. I mean, look that up with caution. Look that up, though.
If I see anything traumatizing because of this suggestion, Marcus, I will have you know
my
you're
gosh.
personally responsible.
Yes, pelicans can kill their young, a behavior called siblicide.
Siblicide?
They have a reputation for feeding their young their own blood. I didn't know they had that reputation.
So it doesn't matter what kind of red fluid you feed your young, whether it's milk from your digestive tract or your own blood. Like, all birds are just one step removed from vampires. Reverse
Wild.
vampires.
They are reverse vampires. Okay. Well, with that information, forget everything I just said. That feels a lot more likely that because they do say, watch the beautiful moment when they both fledge, as in this person who's supposedly an expert expects both of the little ones to still be there, which doesn't sound very likely.
Oh, but then also it's Google says pelicans return to their nest to care for the young until they fledge. I don't know.
I don't know if that's going to be particularly unique
Yeah.
to white pelicans. I remember being traumatized by something in 4th grade about, like, what? The young that they don't expect to survive, if they come out sad or small or scrawny, they just leave them behind? And hearing that a lot in traumatized little 4th grader book reports. So,
Fair enough. So we think
So
suspect B?
is that a vote for you?
I think your original suggestion, Marcus, of the liar is the ornithologist or ornithologist.
I like it.
Okay. I think that if there's something to do with killing their young, I think I'm switching to suspect B, but we can check answers. We don't have to agree.
That's true. Okay.
All right, are we looking at the answers?
I think
1, 2, 3?
so. Yeah, would you like to read those for us?
Absolutely. Subject A was truly just birdwatching. The substance flamingos feed their chicks is indeed called crop milk.
Gross.
This is true for pigeons as well. Pictures of this can be a bit gross, so Google with caution. Whoa, yeah, thanks
Too
for
late.
the warning. A little late on that one. Yeah, wow. Okay. If you think it's suspect B, then let's look at suspect C's answer next. Suspect C was truly just birdwatching.
Okay.
Killdeer are known for faking injury to lead danger away from the nest. It's nice that this suspect is seeing them by a beach, as they also like nesting in parking lots. Ooh, yeah, that would be very sad. Let's not hit the little birds with our SUVs. That means, Marcus, suspect B, white or Nathan, so actually, white pelicans are known for siblicide. Planning to come back and see both chicks fledge would be unlikely. And as we all know, if someone's lying in one of these,
Boom.
they're guilty.
Boom.
You're so right, Cherimoya. If they lie, they're guilty. We know how this works.
Got him, boys.
Fabulous. Wow. Well done. Point for Schrodinger's Nathan.
Yes.
Very fun. They said include something esoteric that makes it maybe not fun, except conceptually. I found it both
That counts.
conceptually fun and non-conceptually fun. and actually,
did you look at the pink milk pictures? Because if you did, I'm concerned that you found that fun, Marcus.
Nope. My eyes are still clean. I did not look up any of these things.
It was esoteric indeed, so I enjoyed that greatly.
We learned not only one thing about birds, but 3 things about different birds, which is a lot of fun.
Did I just get tricked into learning?
Oh, dang
Again, always. Cherimoya, if you enjoy bird-related murder mysteries, Nathan headed up for the video game, The Rise of the Golden Idol, a murder mystery or a death scene that takes place in an aviary where you have to determine which of these fake birds that don't exist in real life, which of them killed the bird keeper.
Mm-hmm.
So if birds are your vibe and you don't mind seeing a violent birds, then...
But I feel like if you can handle the crop milk, then you could probably handle the death.
Yes. You brought these things into the.
Here's
to
a
our-
question for you, other Nathan, or Nathan Prime.
Thank you.
Let's call you that one for a little bit here. See how it sticks. Compared to like Hitchcock's The Birds, how traumatizing is your aviary murder?
I would say if Hitchcock's like a 7 on the traumatizing scale, we're probably like a 5. Like you'll probably be pretty.
Try
safe.
harder.
Yeah. Well. yeah. A lot of them aren't real, so that does help lower the trauma. You're not likely to run into Nithalix Harold in the wild. So
I mean, I can't imagine that there'd be much market demand for to take little Nathan Jr. around to man-eating birds
Right?
at a zoo. You know what I mean?
One of the birds Marcus and I originally pitched, we wanted a bird with tentacles that like spewed out when it got frightened or like aggressive. We that did get shot down, but alas.
I can't imagine why. That sounds fabulous.
Right? A little eldritch horror.
It was worth a shot. All right. Well, we've done our first 2 murder mysteries. We have drank some virtual hot chocolate. We are due for a refill.
Thanks for keeping us on track, Marcus.
Yes, I think that it's time we solve who killed Santa Claus. This final mystery is by Hi Conrad. Hi Conrad is an author, and you can find his mini mysteries at highconrad.com. That's HYCONRAD.com. And wouldn't you know it, he has a mystery called Who Killed Santa Claus, which I can't think of a better time, a better season, or better friends to tackle such a holly jolly
Homicide.
Wouldn't it be kinder if we waited until after he did the yearly present delivery for all the good little children? Or is this an early retaliation for the fact that none of us are getting nothing for Christmas?
Oh. I mean, I have permanent naughty list resident here, so.
It's time for everyone else to join in your suffering. I understand.
Oh, absolutely.
I am sort of jealous that Hi has beaten me to this, because I've often thought about making a Christmas themed murder mystery, and here we have one. So I'm excited to tackle it. I will read it for us. It was midnight on Christmas Eve when the maintenance staff of Kimball's came to work in the deserted department store. When they arrived at the North Pole display, they discovered every child's worst nightmare: the lifeless body of Santa Claus. Every child has this nightmare?
Oh my god.
On Christmas Eve? Yes.
That is fair, yes. He was in the storage room and his head bashed in by the butt end of a .44 revolver.
Oh my gosh.
All right, this is serious.
Santa's off-duty name was Rudolph Pringle. That's Rudolph's revolver, the manager informed the police. He started carrying it after his 6-year-old pulled a knife on him.
What?
What kind of children are you regularly meeting with, Santa, when you feel you need to be armed?
The kinds that have recurring nightmares about dead men in storage rooms, I guess. Do you know anyone who would want to see Rudolph dead, besides the 6-year-old?
Oh my
The
gosh.
manager cleared his throat. Santa's been having a lot of fights with the elves. I know 3 elves who'd threatened to kill him.
Whoa.
This gets better with every paragraph. The detective had the murder weapon bagged. Then he placed it on the center of the interview table, right where the suspects would be forced to look at it.
Wow.
Rudolph Pringle has been murdered, he informed each elf. What do you know about it? Joe Winters shivered and couldn't stop staring at the gun. I know nothing. Some of the guys had trouble with Rudolph, but he was always nice to me. I left the store at 9, right when it closed. I was too tired to change, so I wore my costume home. No one said a word on the subway.
Rudolph was a pig.
Snarled Sammy Petrie, the second elf. Sam Petrie.
If he pushed me too far, I wouldn't smash his head in. I'd sue. What's the use of a dead Santa when a live one can be made to pay?
Robert Goldstein was the smallest elf. On hearing the news, he burst into tears. Last week, Rudolph started a fight. He said I was too slow bringing in the kids. He slapped me on the head and called me all sorts of names, but I didn't kill him. The detective called in an assistant. Well, we have our killer, he said with a smile. All I had to use was a little psychology. Who done it?
Wow.
I think it was representatives by the Kellogg's Corporation for having a naming and copyright infringement with the last name of Pringle.
Yep.
Yes.
But as we'll never be able to prove that in court, let's find another Patsy.
Yes,
Yeah?
let's find a scapegoat.
Okay, so psychology. The first guy can't stop staring at the gun, but that doesn't feel like enough to go off of. And the last one bursts into tears.
Yeah.
Who threatened to kill him? Technically, all 3 did threaten murder.
Yeah. It's not talking about psychology, but talking about practicality. If Robert Goldstein is the smallest elf, I'm imagining he's like waist height. I don't know how he could jump up and bash Santa over the head with a revolver, but
Yeah. Also, they didn't shoot him.
yeah.
Yeah, if he's a lot smaller than this very large Santa Claus man, you probably would have just shot him.
Maybe it was the manager.
Some of the guys had trouble with Rudolph, but he was always nice to me. That's a lie because you threatened to kill him, apparently, Mr. Joe Winters.
Or could
Right?
it be the fact that the smallest elf was slapped on the head and they in turn smashed his head with the butt
Oh.
end of a revolver?
See, that could also work. I could see that. Eye for an eye kind of thing.
Ooh, I think I got it. A classic thing you got to look for in these cases is what are the suspects told by the detective?
Oh.
Who knows something that they shouldn't know?
I think I see where you're going.
So the detective says to them, Rudolph Pringle has been murdered. What do you know about it? The second elf, Sam Petrie, says, if you push me too far, I wouldn't smash his head in. I'd sue. The method was never explained. In fact, they're looking at a gun. They're looking at a gun and being told that he's
You're
murdered.
Right.
So unless there's something like, I don't think there's blood on the butt of the gun.
The one other possibility I see is the fact that Joe Winters wore his costume all the way home.
That is weird.
That's odd, but if you're trying to cover the fact that actually
you want
no,
change?
because if he left right as it closed, if he had murdered him while in elf costume, then the elf costume would be covered in blood, unless he had changed out already. But no, because if they're there right till it closes, then that means he had to have still been in the costume till the end and then just went immediately. He didn't put on the costume to cover up the blood. So I think that your theory is holding up really
I would
well.
agree.
Well, maybe Kimball's elves wear red costumes, so the blood stains are easily blend in. Maybe these elves who apparently threaten to kill people easily
Wear blood red costumes.
maybe it's constant.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, I think that even with the detail of the murder weapon on
Yeah.
the center of the table, right where everyone would be look at it. Yep, I think you're right, Marcus.
All right, let's find
I
out.
think it's Sam.
Hey, solution: Sam Petrie.
Heck yeah.
By leaving the gun on the table, the detective made the unspoken implication that Rudolph had been shot. And yet, in Sam's statement, he mentioned the fact that Rudolph had been hit, the only way Sam could have known that if he had done it himself. After work on Christmas Eve, Sam stayed behind to turn his elf costume and pick up his paycheck. He and Rudolph got into one last argument. Rudolph threatened Sam and pulled out a gun. In a fit of rage, Sam tore the gun from Rudolph's hand and bashed him over the head.
Oh my gosh.
Merry Christmas.
So cozy.
Merry Christmas indeed.
So cozy. Don't you feel that warmth? That fun Yule log warmth?
That's blood.
Oh,
It comes out very warm.
No,
Marcus.
I think that was very fun. As a reminder, you can find more of these mini mysteries on High Conrad's website. An excellent holiday-themed murder to cap off our little murder fireside chat here. Thank you, Nathan, so much for being here with us.
Absolutely. It's been an
Sorry.
absolute pleasure.
I was talking
Oh,
to Nathan.
I see.
Oh yes.
Ah,
yes.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Okay. Oh, and also you.
This has
Nathan.
been a hostile takeover. Surprise, other Nathan. I am Nathan Prime now.
Oh no.
There can only be one.
We gotta get another Marcus on here so we can even the playing field.
Have you thought about a Denny's yet?
Ooh.
We'll find it. 2 a.m. We'll see you there.
Okay.
Awesome. No, thank you both so much for that bit of festive, merry murder fun. And
May all of your listeners responsibly enjoy Merry Murder Fun. There's
Yes.
2 ways you could go about that. We recommend one of them over the other.
yes.
Yes.
Sometimes we forget to put this very important disclaimer that any murders shared on this are purely fictional for entertainment purposes only,
Yes.
and we do not condone violent crime in any way.
And,
unless it's
If we
Santa.
inspire anybody to violent crime, then we expect them to do better than these criminals that we busted today.
Yeah, if you're
Your
gonna
bird facts straight.
be a thief or a killer, don't get caught up saying some dumb fact about white pelicans. Come on, do better.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-mm.
Everyone knows.
Now about flamingo milk. Those images are going to haunt me, so
We'll never
I
be
will
the
have my
same.
own little Christmas Carol nightmares. Thank you.
The ghost of flamingo passed.
If you excuse me, I think I need to go and try to wash my brain out.
Well, thanks again. We'll sign off now. Thank you both, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.